Hi there and welcome to today's video. So today's video is my solar panel update from November 2023 to April 2024. At the point of recording this video, it's the 8th of May, so I could almost have done up to mid-May, but would have had to wait another 10 days. And the sun was really shining today, and I thought that's a good day to record a solar panel video. So if you're new here, hi, I'm Steph. Thanks for clicking on my video, and I hope you find it helpful. My husband and I had a solar panel system fitted on our house with south facing, and we have 12 solar panels, so it's approximately 4.2 kilowatt, and we had it fitted in April 2022. And then in March 2023 we had a battery fitted as well as an inverter. And you can see the stats on the screen, but our inverter was glitching. There were some issues with it, so after a few months of trying to fix it, it was replaced by a bigger inverter, which I believe is 5.7, but I'm not sure. But it's definitely bigger, and it works faster. Like, more electricity goes through it, and you can hear it sometimes, but it's fine. It works well. I also wanted to tell you about the rate, and the reason it's because the rate dictates how I use my appliances at home and how I get the most out of my money, if that makes sense. So we are on Octopus Flux, and we've been with Octopus for a while, but we've been on Flux since April 2023. And there's basically free rates for the import and free rates for the export. So I don't know if you're not familiar with that. There's one really cheap rate for nighttime, so from 2 to 5, which is the time where I fill up my battery. And then there's a cheap-ish rate between 5 and 4 p.m. and 4 and 2 a.m. And then there's a more expensive rate between 4 and 7 p.m., which is the time, when people get out of work, kids get out of school, everybody turn the TV on, and that's where it's the most expensive. And then there's the same thing with the same time range, so it's easier to keep track, for export. So exporting at night is not something we do at all. In all honesty, I think I would struggle to set up my battery. I think my inverter, I know I can, but I'm not interested in it anyway. And the reason is, I will tell you in a second. And then for the export, so there's the same time range, and there's one at 15p and one at 24p. So what I do is that I fill up my battery at night on the cheapest electricity, so for 14.31p. And then I sell it in the daytime. So I never sell at night, I only sell in the daytime. And I will always sell it to more than I bought it. Well, I try. So in this case, for example, if I sell it between, 5 and 4 p.m., I'll get 14.59p back. But what I tend to do is my battery is full in the morning. I'll use some electricity in the morning to do my washing machine and my tumble dryer. I'll put the dishwasher on at night on the cheapest rate. And then if it's a nice day, obviously, if it's not a nice day, all of this falls out of the window. If it is a nice day, then the battery will fill back up by the time it's 2 or 3 o'clock. And then between 4 and 7, well, even 3, but between 4 and 7, I can sell back the more expensive electricity my solar panels make. So I do remember someone had said, oh, why do you fill up your battery entirely? You could just fill up half of it, and then you wouldn't buy electricity, but then I wouldn't be able to sell it more expensive as well. So it's a kind of thing that we didn't really contemplate at first, because there's so much to think about. But that once you get into the rhythm of your solar panels, and you have to change a little bit the way you do things in the house. But obviously I'm looking at it from the perspective of a mom who's got 2 kids, a lot of washing machine and a lot of dishwashers. But you get used to all these things, and you start shifting the way you do things. So that's all right. And with the Octopus, and I have a code with Octopus, like a referral code. So if you join them with my code, you get £50. I think it's still, I need to double check. I'll put it in the comment section if it's still there. And then I get £50 as well. But I really like Octopus, because I find that, obviously I can't compare because I'm not with any other providers, but I've been with other providers in the past, and I think Octopus is the most humane. That sounds a bit extreme. I'm sure the others are right. But I like what they do for people. Like, there's they send us email, and there's regular updates. There's like a donations thing you can donate. So every month I donate £1. I know it's not a lot, but if everybody gave £1 for people who are struggling to pay for their electricity, then I think it would be amazing. So I quite like that aspect of things. So now let's talk about stats and money. So it becomes a bit overwhelming here because normally I only do this monthly or every 2 months. So that's a lot of numbers, but it will show you the evolution of things as well. So let's just start first. The time period we're talking about, So the time period we're talking about is 19th of November until the 18th of April. So that's 5 months. Our average daily consumption. So we're a family of 4. Everybody has a phone. We have a few video consoles in the house. We try to turn the lights off during the day, except when I'm recording. And we use about 11.9 kilowatt a day. I looked at it in a bit more details, and we definitely used more in winter because the days are shorter, the lights are on. In December, I put the Christmas lights. I do try to turn them off. I don't leave them on all night. I'll turn them on from 5 o'clock to maybe 8 o'clock. But that makes a difference, obviously, and because this is such a large time range or date range, that had an impact on the stats as well. So in terms of solar panel generation, we made 877 kilowatt, which like that doesn't mean very much. But if you look at it on a monthly basis, you will see that from mid-November to mid-December, we did 89 kilowatt, which is not good at all. From mid-December to mid-Jan, 92, which isn't great. But you can see that already, by the time we reach mid-Jan to mid-Feb, we're going up quite a lot. So that's the point where the days have started stretching again. And obviously it depends where you live, and it depends if there's a lot of trees around your house, and this kind of things you need to bear in mind when you decide to get solar panels. Is there a lot of shade and things like that? But obviously it's England and the days are short in winter, and it is what it is. Mid-Feb to mid-March, we made 189. So I should also point out, if you're not living in the UK, that we've had a really poor spring. We had a lot of clouds and the weather was really, really poor. So the stats for March to Feb maybe aren't quite as good as it could have been. And then March to April, it's not doubled, but it's not far. So you can already, we've that's a time where we changed the clock, the days are much longer already. But it has make a bit difference. So just so you can compare, to see the difference between November and March is really big. We're talking about 3.5 times more electricity generated, which is brilliant. It is my favorite time of the year for solar panels. It really is the best time because that's where you go from the short days to the long days. Anyway, I like it. So looking at the total electricity that we used from the grid, we used 1,298 kilowatt, which is approximately 352. No, it's 352 pounds. That's not approximate, that's accurate. But my total consumption, panels and grid, the amount of wattage is accurate, is 1,800 kilowatt. But the amount is estimated because I have to calculate. I'm basically using a dummy rate that I think is correct, but I don't know what the rate is for people who are on a standard rate. If you have one rate for the whole day, I don't actually know what the rate is anymore because I don't get it because we're now on flux. So I'm estimating it. But yeah, it's hard to know for sure unless someone wants to share their rate. Please let me know. And it changes every 3 months at all, so it's a bit annoying for that. But £633 is what I estimate we would have paid for that same time period without solar panels. So it's not quite twice as much, but not far off. So I'm really, really pleased. And then when it comes to export, I was a bit disappointed. We only exported 369 kilowatt. So it's only £61.45. That's accurate as well. It's not as much as I wanted, but it is what it is, and it's still better than a poke in the eye. There's one thing I forgot to tell you. Our initial investment for the whole thing, solar panels, inverters, battery, is about £12,500. I believe the price increased after we had the solar panels fitted, but that was already 2 years ago, so I don't know if that has changed or not. I haven't talked to our installer since a little while. But I would think it's the install cost is probably a bit higher. So our total saving for that period is £299 I estimate, which I think is really good. And it's a ballpark, but it gives you an idea. And our total saving to date, again, an average, is about £1,900. So it's been 2 years of solar panels. So I estimate that it will take about 12 years for us to get our money back. Unless we get quite a nice few summers, and then I can sell loads of electricity back. So it's, yeah, you can't really tell. You can't predict. I talked about solar panels with a friend over the weekend, trying to give a lot of advice from what we've learned. But again, it depends where you live. If you're in the south of England, you will have nicer days, less rain. If you're in the north, it might be a bit cold, but cold doesn't stop solar panels working, so that's not really a problem. It's more about clouds so much than cold. If it's cold, it's fine. If it's cloudy, it's a different story. You still make electricity when it is cloudy, even if you have, that kind of white cast. You still make electricity, but obviously nowhere near as much. So I hope that video is helpful. I will put the link to my Octopus referral code if you're interested. If you have, I don't know, if you have any questions, things I'm not thinking about, let me know. Put me a comment leave me a comment in the comment section, and I'll try to get back to you. And if you want to share your stats with other people, if you live in England as well, maybe a different part of England. I'm in the West Midlands, but if you are somewhere else and you want to share, feel free to do that as well. That's always helpful for other people. So thank you very much for watching, and have a lovely day. Bye!